Violence continues in Philadelphia. A 14-year-old shot 18 times and killed. I'm Jason Martinez. Now,
a 14-year-old shot 18 times. They shot him more than his age. Okay? A 14-year-old shot 18 times. What is going on in Philadelphia? Oh, yeah, that's right. Underlying issues. The pandemic. Stress related to being locked up in their houses for a year, and people are out and they don't know how to act. Even though in the hoods in Philly, no one ever quarantined, no one ever social distanced, no one ever was on lockdown. And you know that. It was like that everywhere in the stand. I remember driving around the city because I wasn't going anywhere. I was just, me and my wife, we would just drive around. We was part of the, people that was locked down. We was social distancing and wearing masks, everything. We was just riding around, seeing how the city was in D.C. And man, you went to the historically Sun neighborhoods. You wouldn't have known there was nothing going on. You would have thought it was just a regular day. It was out. Easter egg hunts. Line around the corner in front of the Crab Shack. Cookouts. Crazy, man. But yeah. So you're going to hear a lot of the reasons, a lot of explanations for this, what's going on in Philadelphia. Well, you might not hear anything because no one's talking about it. No one's talking about this. This can't get no play. The face of gun violence in America is a pasty conservative teen who admirably defended himself against three pasty liberal thugs. That's the face of gun violence in America.
violence continues in Philadelphia. A 14-year-old shot 18 times and killed. I'm Jason Martinez. Now, police say they have two persons of interest in connection with that shooting. Dave Kinchin is live at police headquarters. Dave?
That's right. We just got off the phone with investigators. We know homicide detectives are questioning those two persons of interest now. We're told that one of them allegedly even had blood on their clothes when they were pulled over in a vehicle that matched a description.
It brings tear to your eyes. It's crazy, man. It hurt me, man.
Neighbors deeply shaken over the shooting death of a 14-year-old boy at the intersection of Wyoming and Rising Sun in Feltonville. Police say he was shot 18 times throughout his body when two shooters attacked.
So, just think about this. Look at the numbers. Look how many shell casings there are. Think about, now you see how there's always collateral damage when these little Sun teens go out shooting, or Sun men in general. There's always collateral damage. You see that? Anybody driving past, walking past, standing at the bus stop with this kid, anybody who was just unlucky enough to be right there, could have been killed, maimed, grazed, and no one's talking about this.
Neighbors deeply shaken over the shooting death of a 14-year-old boy at the intersection of Wyoming and Rising Sun in Feltonville. Police say he was shot 18 times throughout his body when two shooters attacked as he waited for the bus. The deadliest year in Philly history getting even deadlier.
I don't even know this little kid, but it's stressing me out bad. You know, like it's on my mind. It got me a little teary-eyed, you know? For real. It can happen to anybody, kid, it can happen to anybody. In Philly, man, we need to get better. For real, like not today, tomorrow, like right now.
Police say two men got out of a car and chased the 14-year-old while firing about 35 rounds from two guns. Cops say the boy ran a block before collapsing. He was rushed to Temple University Hospital where he was pronounced dead.
It's a tragedy that somebody's going to fire over 30 shots at a teenager who's just waiting on the bus. It's just it's a tragedy. It's even hard to conceive.
Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw commented on this murder and three others since yesterday, including a 21-year-old Temple student and a 16-year-old boy killed near Temple's campus, saying she grieves for the victims and their families, vowing every case will be investigated fully.
So now tell me this. Who's sending their kid to Temple? Hit one if you send your kid to Temple. Like, Temple needs to do something. They need to get their own private security. Forget campus police, but I mean a private security firm to work the outer regions of their campus. Because I think the campus police pretty much got the campus pretty much cool. Like, they know the threat over there at Temple. They know the Sun Man is out here wilding out. And they got all types of hotlines, and you can call people to walk with you. You can call people to get rides. You can call people. They got all type of alerts on their phone anytime something happens. So the University of Temple has it. But what about the kids who live off campus? In the immediate areas, streets, and neighborhoods around the campus. I wouldn't send my kid to Temple. I'm sorry. I wouldn't.
It's even hard to conceive.
Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw commented on this murder and three others since yesterday, including a 21-year-old Temple student and a 16-year-old boy killed near Temple's campus, saying she grieves for the victims and their families, vowing every case will be investigated fully. Police are questioning two persons of interest in the shooting of the 14-year-old. Sources say one of the men even had blood on their clothes.
It just breaks my heart, man. There's a lot going on out here in Philadelphia, and it's getting younger and younger and younger, and it's ridiculous. Like, it need to come to an end. It need to come to an end. Like, something gotta give. Something gotta give.
Something gotta give, brother. I commend this brother for putting his face on camera and speaking about it, man, because oftentimes brothers don't want to speak up because you snitching in this brother. Nothing this brother's doing is wrong. Nothing he's saying is wrong. He not hot. He not a snitch. He none of that stuff. This brother's speaking the truth, man. But what needs to be done, something got to give, a new crime bill. I've been saying it for a while. We need a new crime bill. It's too much, man. We couldn't handle it. They basically reversed Biden's crime bill, the 94 Joe Biden crime bill. They reversed it with all this legislation they did over the last, since Obama came into office, even into Trump. Trump reversed a lot of that stuff as far as like helping people get out that had been the First Step Act, people who were in jail for a long time, helping them get out. And I don't mind that much. I don't mind that, you know, those people had done all the people Trump let out had done 20, 30 years. But on the street level, a lot of the things that had been reversed as far as like the number of police, the bail, the sentencing, all these things. The prosecution of crimes, the prosecutors are all soft, including the one in Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, Mr. Softy, a.k.a. Let Him Go Larry. Still, we need a new crime bill, and you sisters cannot complain about it. There will be no crime bill unless sisters sign off on it. read my lips. There will be no new crime bill unless sisters sign off on it, because they have the largest voice in the community by far. They were are we forgetting that they're the ones behind BLM? That was a sister-led movement. Yeah, they took money from some Hungarian dude, but still, that was a sister-led movement all throughout. And if sisters do not sign on this new crime bill that I'm proposing, it won't happen.
Well, police also tell us they have plenty of video they're working on in that area, including a real-time police camera right at that scene. Jason?
All right, Dave Kinchin, thank you very much. Dave mentioned the...
And I just want you to think, what would this country be doing if the gun memorial in Philadelphia was full of Sam Collingtons and not full of Samir Jeffersons? Instead of being full of Samirs, it was full of Samuels. And this is everybody in Philadelphia died from gunshot wounds. This is all the people. Think about that. Everybody on here is of the sun. And the people who are not of the sun, they were killed by people of the sun. Because we've come to the Philadelphia Gun Memorial so many times on this channel, I know it like the back of my hand. I know the stories of all these people, most of them, what happened. And they were killed in the street. These people were killed in the street. That's the thing about it. Like, these is not hidden. This stuff happens in the street. And all we gonna hear about is every time it only makes, think about it. If they had to do a national story every time one of these people got killed or there was a mass shooting, I think like 30 or 40 mass shootings in Philadelphia this year. I know there were 30 last year, but I think they surpassed that this year. Think about that. Just think about that, man. They can't focus on this stuff. Your head is spin. It's easier to focus on every time a glacier glider shoots somebody. Because it's tangible. It happens so rarely that you can all right, you can focus on, you can run the story for a week. These stories, you can't run these stories for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, another son man got killed. And this is just in one city. Could you imagine trying to cover this gun violence in Blackistan across the country?
From the family of another young teen gunned down on the streets of Philadelphia while police search for his killers. Our Kelly Rule spoke to the 14-year-old's family, and she's live at police headquarters tonight. Kelly?
Well, Jason, tonight, Philadelphia police tell us homicide detectives are currently questioning two people in connection to this very shooting, which they say was clearly a targeted shooting. Meanwhile, 14-year-old Samir Jefferson's family is devastated.
Just my son, every time I close my eyes, I see my son.
Desiree Goodson says she just wants her son back.
That's my son. I birthed him. He wanted to be somebody. He wanted to be known.
Samir Jefferson, a 14-year-old Thomas A. Edison High School freshman, was waiting for the bus near Wyoming and Rising Sun in Feltonville Monday afternoon around 3:30 p.m. when police say two people got out of a car and chased him, firing off about 35 rounds. Jefferson was hit 18 times and ran a block before collapsing. The Rite Aid at the busy intersection was covered in bullet holes Tuesday. Jefferson's brother said he told him he was going to Burger King after school. He has to take 2 buses to get home.
I was with him before I left school. We did everything together. We went to school together, we ate together, we did everything.
Whatever it was that drove what happened yesterday afternoon, we may never be able to stop that because there were people that were intentionally going to take a young man's life.
Told you, no solution. There's no solution. Crime bill. Need another crime bill, man. All these programs. Salute to all you guys doing programs and outreach and, trying to be proactive, preemptive, trying to, stop the crime before it happens. None of that stuff. It's a look. I mean, just look what's happening. Like, I don't even have to insult y'all. Look what's happening. And they've dumped millions and millions of dollars into these programs in these cities. I'm talking about over the years, they've dumped billions over the years into these programs. Nothing works. We need another crime bill.
Jefferson's family says his Instagram shows that he messaged someone a video of a fight approximately 15 minutes before he was killed. Police say social media drives a lot of the violence in the city, and they are looking at whether or not it was a factor in this case.
Okay. So he sent somebody a video of a fight. Now, who was fighting and what was his caption? Because we just did a story about a comedian who was killed in Memphis for making a joke, about Young Dolph's passing. And they say social media drives a lot of the violence. And I've been doing stories on that social media, how this stuff, it does. While everyone else is on social media, arguing and politicking and, finding ways to make money and making businesses, we're on there threatening each other. Meet up, drop your addy. And this boy, listen, he's 14. It just shows you how dark and grimy our culture is when 14-year-olds are in stuff where it's like, yo, oh, he sent the video. Oh, yeah, well, he should have known better than that. Or his caption on the video was disrespectful to this crew or that crew, and he should have known better than that. Or he was loafing. What was he doing? Standing at the bus stop all broad day where everybody could see him. Should have known better than that, because that's what you're going to hear a lot of that. Man, this culture's rough, Jack. And kids got to be hard. That's why we see little son teens, they're hardcore, gangster. There's no way you can survive in a public school, in a neighborhood, at a rec center, in one of these democratically run cities, unless you're tough as nails.
Family members of students have few solutions.
Best thing you can do, bring them here, watch them walk in, and pick them up.
Is that crazy that it's come to that?
It's sad.
I don't care about no justice. I don't care about retaliation. I just want my son back. None of that can help me get my son back.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Now, in a statement from the Philadelphia School District, they said to us today that they are continuing to build on student mental health and wellness staff, collaborate with the city on certain programs like school safety zones, and do all that they can to protect students when they are in their care. Jason, anybody with information about this shooting is asked to come forward.
All right, Kelly Rule at the Roundhouse. Thank